So I'm going to introduce. Hey everyone, welcome to the Critical Cracker, the Cracker Box podcast. I'm the Critical Cracker, your host today. Today we have my mainstay, Mr. Stan.
Hello.
And we have a special guest, a Rational Outlaw.
Howdy,
We're going
y'all.
to be talking about. Oh, sorry, Outlaw. Could you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Howdy, y'all. I'm Rational Outlaw.
And we're gonna today. We're gonna be talking about how Kraut and T went after Rage Against the Storm's job. Now, I don't support everything that Rage Against the Storm has said, but I don't agree with going after someone's job for the sake of, haha, I got you. Frankly, Kraut was really petty. I tried to get him on the show. I sent him a Twitter post. Hopefully, I was hoping you'd get it, but to no avail.
Yeah. So, do you want to? Are we all on the same page on this? Should we recap the events?
Yeah, go ahead and recap the event.
So, what went on, as far as I see it, is after the whole drama with Rage After Storm, she made this video about race realism. It's become kind of a hot button topic, and in that she used some very poor sources, namely the Daily Stormer, and she got in a lot of trouble with that. People may say that's neither here nor there as it relates to this issue, because, it just depends on whether you're talking about whether you think this is an issue of moral absolutes or not. But then later on in the drama, Kraut went on to find she had linked in her Twitter bio her contribution to a blog of like a youth UKIP blog that she works for called Kipper Central. I don't know if she gets paid for this. I found nothing that says, does anyone know that? I couldn't find anything that says whether or not she's been paid.
I couldn't find anything either, but it's still a job.
So what Kraut then went on to say on Twitter is just kind of draw attention to her by Kipper Central. He tagged their Twitter in it and said, you should take a look at what one of your contributors is saying, and that really harkened back to the old school days when SJWs really ran Twitter, and they still do to a lesser extent. They used to constantly try and find out where people they disagree with work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the and then Kraut made a video about it where he was really pissy and a bit hysterical, in my opinion.
To be honest, Kraut was acting incredibly petty. That black guy T kind of made a video about it, or made a little post on Twitter. I'm trying to find it. Can't really find it though. He said, "Yeah, it sucks that he went after a job, but you say stuff on the internet." I'm like, it's going to come back to you. I'm like, whoa. First of all, what you say on the internet, it has nothing to do with your job, unless you're like a politician or something.
Well, to be fair, she was, the UKIP is a political party, and that site was run by a UKIP kind of youth leader. So it's not entirely removed from politics, but I do think it's a little bit dodgy, which Kraut addressed, but it's really too little too late.
Right. I don't agree the way he proceeded to go after her livelihood. I don't agree with that. I think that's incredibly petty. Kraut, if you're actually watching this, maybe you should have, had a debate with her and destroyed her that way, instead of going after her livelihood. I think that was really petty of you, honestly, and I hate how this community's slowly turning into fucking SJW bullshit. We're having our own brands.
I don't think it's. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm sick. If you can't tell.
To play devil's advocate, we're not entirely sure whether she was actually earning money from the blog or not, and it's not like one of these light doxes that they used to do, the SGWs used to do, where they'd actually go to extreme lengths to find out what her job was. So I'm not going to sit here and say Kraut T is an SJW. I'm going to say he made a mistake, and he was a little bitch about it afterwards.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, where do you fall on? Should we take it one step at a time in chronological order? How about you? I don't know where you fall on race. On race. I hope I know where you fall on race. On the Rage on the After the Storm original drama, how do you fall on that?
The original drama. Well, for the original drama, for me, I disagree with what she said, but I'm fine with her. I would never restrict her saying that. But
yeah, I think it's kind of a non-issue. I think everyone thought that video was stupid and that her sources were bad. I don't know.
You don't source the Daily Stormer for a source. Come on. That's like going to CNN and sourcing them for actual information.
Yeah. I think maybe even a little worse than that. I think CNN actually does occasionally report things that happen. The Daily Stormer is actually just bullshit, just 100%. But I'm not gonna get on here defending CNN on this program. It's not something I want to do, and not something I feel I should do. So, yeah, go ahead.
The whole race realism thing, it's just, I think it's a taboo for a lot of people. I don't really know a lot about it, so I'm not going to say anything yet. I'm going to do my research. But from what I did read, I think on the outset, I think it's bullshit, But I'm going to do some more research on it, but it's
a tricky subject. I think it came to the forefront of everything. It wasn't really touched widely by the skeptic community. I wouldn't name Rage After Storm as part of the skeptic community. I don't think she is one of them, but she uses the same format. I think it all kind of came to the front after Sam Harris did that podcast, his edition of Waking Up, his Waking Up podcast with the author of the Bell Curve, which is, if you don't know, it was an academic work about IQ and race difference in IQ, and that was a brave thing for him to do, and the science was reasonably solid. I think the general consensus that it was untrue, but many people do believe it. It's a semi-reasonable position to take. I think there is some argument to say that there's there's IQ difference by race. Some of these race realists, though, aren't that. What they are is what I believe Rage After Storm to be, crypto-fascists, which are people who obscure their fascism by pretending to be something else. When people start talking about skull sizes and what did she say? She said that the Negro was not capable of understanding concepts such as time. That's not even crypto. She's a racist and a fascist. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of biased against Rage because I find her attractive. I'd pound her harder than Germany pounded Poland.
I'd hate fuck her. Yeah, I'd hate fuck her.
But then again, my biggest issue with the whole situation is how Kraut used the same tactics as SJWs. And I mean, come on, man. You know,
it was cheeky, and it was not the right move. He admitted as much later on.
But then he made the video acting all, you know,
he was
acting like a little bitch, like, oh, you know, it was all on her. I'm like, come on, dude, shut the fuck up.
I'll say where he went wrong in that video, as I see it. He addressed everything that went on, and he apologized for making the tweet, which I thought, you know, that was kind of a sweep it under the rug sort of thing. It's a mistake, let's put it behind us. But then he went on to kind of attack his critics and associate them with things that they previously done, as if that had any bearing on the quality of what they were saying on this issue, which I don't believe it does. He was just adding ad hominem, I believe. And he also said at one point, you know, in kind of a dickish manner, that it almost, looking at this, made me consider that the tweet was reasonable. So he's kind of saying, sorry, not sorry, you're all racists and idiots, I'm smart.
It's like, what's that chick's name? There's this transgender chick that wants to rub tranny balls over straight guys' faces or something. And the reason I'm comparing the two is because she received critical backlash about that. Because, you know, as a straight man, Stanley, would you want a tranny balls rubbed across your face?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm not. No comment.
No comment. I think that it's a lack of lack of integrity on both Kraut's part, and Rage Against the Storm should have done a better video, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I was going with that. But,
Have your peace. Have your peace, the rational outlaw.
yes. Speaks.
I would agree with both of you said. I felt Kraut and T went too far. I like that he apologized, but then when he released his next video saying that how he's still not wrong, kind of like countered that kind of apology, I felt a bit. But yeah, I think he didn't need to go as far as he did. He could have just countered her arguments, countered her sources in a video and all that, instead of just going out after her. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Shall I play devil's advocate for a bit with a few of the points that came up in his video, and you can kind of
should we discuss the video in question, or should we discuss how, you know, Kraut handled this situation, or should we do
no? Yeah, you lead the way. Well, I'm in your house.
Perhaps.
Okay. So the video, I went through the video. She did make some good points, you know, about the high crime rate or whatever, but I don't think, I really don't think it's tied. I think IQ is both tied to genetics and your environment and how you're raised and whatnot. I don't think it's, you know, all black people are dumb and whites are the smartest, because that's not true. You know what I mean? They're very intelligent black men. There's, you know, rocket scientists. There are white rocket scientists. You know, it's really dependent on genetics and where you're born and how everything fits into play. You know, with the environment and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know anything about race realism. I haven't read the bell curve. I haven't read anything really to that effect. All I'm gonna say is I will call someone a racist who prejudges people based on race, and who at any point, even if it was true that on average black people are less intelligent than white people, which I don't believe to be true, it's no reason to make that, to actually work policy on that, or to factor that into your daily interactions and your interpersonal relationships. You should never judge someone solely based on their race, because there's actually zero things you can learn just by looking at someone's skin color. And if you think you can, you are a racist.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a "We was kings" joke because it's like my favorite joke ever. We was kings and shit. We was kings.
This is what happens when there's not 1 million people in the hangout. Last time we had like a billion people, and there was enough to actually shut me up. So now you can just listen to me 100% of the time, go, and then long pregnant pauses in between, more times I have to say,
Yeah, I would agree that I don't know much about race realism myself either, because I haven't read up on this because I don't really care about the subject all that much. But I would agree that there is maybe perhaps some, in the sense that it has to do with your genetics and all that, but I would believe most of it is your upbringing and your education of early life and all that, different factors.
Yeah, and when it comes to IQ, I'm skeptical of the quality of IQ. I think it's the best way we have of testing general intelligence, but I don't think it's a value judgment.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm not a smart boy when it comes to this. I don't know what I'm talking about. Also, Benjamin G in the chat. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it sound like I was misrepresenting her. If you're referring to me misrepresenting her, I don't think I don't think that is totally a misrepresentation. I think she actually did call black people stupid in no uncertain terms. I think she's an actual racist. I don't think she was talking averages. I think she did talk averages, but I think her general point was not a soft one. She was making a strong point, and she was making a point informed by racist outlets, and which has led me to believe that if she is a believer in the rhetoric she gave out in that video, she's a racist.
The third leg shall rise again.
Indeed.
But in an overall sense, I think both parties really fucked up on how to handle the situation. It is what it is.
It's a weird position for us to be in. I think it speaks to the strength of the skeptic community that we're put in the position, well, at least I am put in the position of defending someone I very much dislike against someone I quite like, which is Kraut and T. And I think it's good that we do this.
Kraut and T makes good content. I'm not going to deny that. I just think that pulling the same tactics as your average SJW fucking gender studies, queer, transgender, non-binary, otherkin person, I think it's really shitty. And and I honestly think that you should make a formal apology. Be like, yeah, I fucked up, but He
did apologize in those tweets. He did make a retraction in the tweets. Which
but then he went on to say like, haha, I'm not sorry, not sorry kind of.
Yeah, he definitely did that.
And it's like, dude, are you for real? No.
He should have realized that he lost this one.
He
He
lost
dug
it.
himself a bigger hole. I think he's got a little bit of ego.
I tried getting him on to hear his side, but you know how big YouTubers are.
Yeah. Don't want to come down to grassroots, where they came from.
Who is this critical cracker? Fucking tweeting me. He's not German enough. Maybe I have a Nazi variant of my avatar. I'm afraid to use.
Bring it out, crack it out, dude.
Put it. I'll put it in my fuck. What's it called? Discord server. There you go. It'd be hilarious. But yeah. Back to the topic. I think this is also highlighting another issue we're having with the. Sorry, that's my phone. Quote unquote skeptic community, is a lot of people are starting to use the same tactics as SJWs, and I think we need to put a stop to it. Like, come on. We shouldn't go after someone's livelihood because we disagree with them. If anything, I think we should go after their ideals in the public forum. That's when we can utterly destroy their ideas. So people can, talk about this without actually fear of losing their job. That's why I use an avatar, because I don't want someone to come after my job because, I said something on the internet.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
I can only be on for probably about 15 minutes. And I gotta head out. I gotta finish payroll for my employees.
I remember Geek Cthulhu, but who's this mistaken lunatics?
I'm Mocha. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, I'm Stan.
Is that Mocha?
Yeah, this is Mocha.
Oh, okay.
We had a rebranding.
Woo!
Yay!
Get more people in this bitch.
Yay, daddy. No one else I really knows anything about this, or doesn't care about this, or they're working. Because everyone I hang out with are dads and family people.
I don't have any babies. Mocha, do you want to make babies?
I can't do it with a cracker. I'm a cat. That'd be weird.
That would... We're having a domestic here.
Yeah.
Cut to commercials.
Okay, so what have you discussed?
We discussed how the situation between Rage Against Storms, discussed the video that she made. We discussed how Kraut treated the situation, how he kind of went after her employment, and then we discussed how his half-ass apology and the video he made right after. So that's what we did so far.
Okay. Because can I please inform you of how much I know about this? Jack and shit, to be perfectly honest. I watched his video, and that's about it.
Yeah, a month. Where it all started was that stupid race realism video, which, I mean, the stats that she's putting out there, they're legitimate stats, but there's a lot of people they'll take out of context certain stats. One of my biggest problems with AIU, and why it's easy to kind of label him as a racist or what have you, is because a lot of times they'll take a stat, but then they won't go any further. You'll hear the common phrase of, "Oh, despite being 13% of the U.S.'s total population, they commit over 55% of the murders." But then that's where they stop.
I thought it was 56, 57 around there.
Well, who knows? They've been busy. But like they'll quote that stat, and it's like Colin Flaherty. Do you guys know who he is?
No.
I don't know.
If you guys look him up, he's always like covering like black on black crime and stuff like that. But he doesn't go far enough to go, because there are other contributing factors to poverty, education, environment, upbringing, the things that all kind of come into that. But with Rage's video, they were taking stats like averages and saying the average black person doesn't have as a higher IQ than the average white person, which is true. It's absolutely true, but it doesn't mean that it's just like black people are just genetically dumber than white people. I mean, she never actually says that. But a lot of people took her, especially when they had on the Worski stream where it was Andy Worski, some black guy, Jeff Holiday, and Kraut and T. They kind of took a lot of what she said out of context and mispainted and misrepresented some of the things she was saying. But it's like, is she racist? I don't know. I mean, she could be. Who knows? But she could have some bias. Who knows?
I think the race realism stuff comes down to how far you push back the issue, how far you dig into it. We can say, do black people have lower IQs because they're generally less intelligent, or is there a problem in the way we measure IQ? Is it possible to practice for IQ tests? Is it possible that maybe a young black student is less likely to care about it due to their situation? Are black people more violent because we see that they're committing more crimes, or is it because we have these ghettos and awful ghettoized neighborhoods where children are left eating flakes of lead off the walls? It's impossible to say. We can only interpret statistics. I think her interpretation of statistics is a very one-dimensional one and is the easiest one. I feel the taboo on this subject, and I don't really want to talk about race realism because it's gross. Here we are.
But there are statistics. I mean, as long as you're not, you can talk about the statistics all day long, and that doesn't mean that's racist or gross or disgusting. But if you're using it to support an idea of superiority or inferiority, then that's where it becomes gross and disgusting. I don't really feel like she represented it as like I hate black people are dumb. I think her video should have probably been longer and maybe expanded out instead of just focusing on the black and white aspect. I mean, because Asians excel at and they have an average higher IQ than whites. I mean, but she didn't really do that. But to just come off and go, oh, she's a racist, it's you're kind of reaching, I think.
What I'm saying about race realism is that there's a part of me deep down, and I know it's wrong to think like this, but that thinks, well, by looking at this, I question someone's motives as to why they're looking at this. Why are they exploring these caves that seem to me to be very obviously dangerous? I understand that the pursuit of truth is objectively good, but I am suspicious of her motives. And I think some of the things she said, especially about the whole black people not being able to understand time thing, is actually full-on racist.
Yeah, that was really fucked up.
I got some black employees, and that ain't too far off from the truth. Speaking of you, my payroll.
I digitally slap your wrist, sir.
You know what's the worst, though? I work. Have you ever? You guys know the difference between African black and an American black? What? Okay. Whatever. Anyway, so the difference between an African black and an American black is simple. African blacks are super rude.
Okay then.
Super rude. Now, not all African blacks, mind you, but just the ones that are in the workforce.
Please do not talk about my people. I find that
That was a
very
joke.
offensive.
I am sorry. It was a terrible joke. Moving
I will
on.
find you offended.
Boo!
Oh, we've got another visitor.
Who we got?
How's it going, cunts?
Oh, Satan. What's up, man?
Haha, you answered him. That means you're a cunt. He got you.
Oh, hey, Satan. How are you? It's been forever.
That's Momoka, right?
Yep.
How's it going?
Ah, pretty good. I'm eating crackers.
On
I mean-
a critical cracker stream. That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yep. So, pretty much, we're talking about the drama that's been happening. Are you up to date on it, or do we need a recap?
Which drama? There's always drama happening.
Yeah, the Kraut and T versus Rage Against the Storm.
Oh, I intentionally say that. If that's what we're talking about. I guess I'll get filled in.
Okay, so you want me to recap it?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Oh yeah, okay. So Rage Against the Storm made a video. It was a race realist video. A lot of our sources were
A bit questionable.
questionable, especially the one against the Daily Stormer, which, as we know, is a white supremacist site.
Yeah, but some of them were credible.
Some were credible.
I actually looked into them.
Hitler can say 2 + 2 is 4. Does not mean 2 + 2 isn't 4 just because he's an incredible racist and killed 6 million Jews. I mean, but like I was saying before, people that use those stats to kind of support any racist views, where they kind of cherry pick those things, and that's where the problem is with that. But I think the biggest problem in all of this, because nobody's really going to look at what she says as something super credible. The biggest thing that come out of this whole event is the fact that Kraut, utilized a tactic that he's rallied him and all of his friends and his peers against, with tweeting tweeting the blog that she writes for, and then he does this bullshit tactic where he's like, well, I removed it and I apologized.
I love how you put the German accent on that. That's hilarious.
See, here's the thing. But yeah, he thinks well I apologize for it, and it's like, yeah, but you still did it anyways. And he's like, well, I didn't get her fired. Her employer fired her for other complaints. It wasn't me. And it's like, yeah, but you attempted it. It's like you attempted it. You went to go kill a sick old lady, but she happened to die before you got there. You still were intending to kill the sick old lady.
It was a failed apology. It was a bullshit apology, and he went on to just bring up old drama about his critics, which is, I think, is ad hominem.
Deflection. It's just a deflection.
Benjamin actually, you looking in the? I'm sorry to interrupt. Looking in the chat room, Benjamin made a point. If a news anchor made some public comment about sneaky jabs on a platform other than their news show, there'd be outrage directed at that celebrity and news show. How is Rage different?
Well, no, I think if the news, just like CNN went after that guy for a fucking meme, and threatened to dox him, we were fucking pissed off about it. I mean, if somebody on the news made a jab at like, or said something about race that was maybe not considered politically correct, and then people were going after a job, I'd be like, it's fucked up. Don't do that.
Okay, let's be fair. I think a lot of what Rage After Storm said was not only politically incorrect, but actually incorrect.
Well, okay.
I feel like that should be taken
Here's
down.
the thing with a lot
But
of
did you
like,
check
when
her
people bring up
sources?
the bell curve, they bring it up and they'll always fail to mention we're talking about a difference of a couple of points on average. So
Yeah.
when you say, oh yes, black people have lower IQs than white people, that's true. By about 2.5 points on average across the whole. That's not a whole hell of a lot.
True.
And it shouldn't affect the way you act towards the individual black person that you see in the street, and it shouldn't affect any policy, really. I feel like I have to be skeptical of someone who says, I'm bringing up all these marginal points about the difference between black and white people for no reason. I'm just doing this cold reading of these stats. I shouldn't be, because the pursuit of truth is always good, but I'm suspicious.
Well, when the video is out, if you checked her sources, they were credible. They were the sources
They
were
the
good,
Daily Stormer.
with the
Well,
exception
what?
of a Daily Stormer article, but it was
Yeah,
still
she had like
using.
what was it, like 10 to 12 different studies in there?
Yeah, she had a lot of sources on her video, and one of them was from the Daily Stormer. But the Daily Stormer was using statistics that were right. I mean, like I said, it's like somebody can be a racist and say, oh, I hate black people because they fucking kill a lot of people. They kill more people than white people. They're garbage. And then there's somebody who's like, well, statistically, black people do kill more than whites. There's a difference, and you're trying to conflate that somebody's saying something like that is just racist when they're pointing out a statistical fact. It's not.
So I've got the.
You're implying that she has some racist agenda.
I am, yes.
Yeah,
I
but how
am.
do you know?
Well,
Well, I don't know because I'm not a mind reader.
There was something that Freaking Queens brought up, and I've been meaning to actually sit down and have a talk with them, but every time, like, one of us is busy and the other one, like, we haven't found a time to talk about it yet. But he's been talking about how he's been going through the bell curve and actually sitting down to read it and look at some of the stuff behind it, and that he can't fault some of these scientific things. A lot of it is unscientific, and it's just here's kind of what we found, but our methodology was poor, but no one's going to question it because yay racism or yay anti-racism, yay whatever. But the thing is, there's a lot of truth in that book, and it's been widely hailed as racist or widely hailed as incredible or whatever, and it's thought about. But no one really gets into the fact, what are the intentions of the information? Because it may be true, it may be false, but what the intent of what you're trying to do with information is almost never a good thing.
So I've got the sources up now. If you, I'd like to go through them because they're interesting.
Okay, go ahead. Put them on the screen if you can, Stan.
Oh, I've got like a million tabs open. I opened all the tabs. I'll just say them.
I bet one of them is tranny porn.
So
One of them is always tranny porn.
the first link is a Telegraph link, but I guess the article's not there because it just boots straight to the front page of the Telegraph World News. The second one is a Wikipedia article. I don't know what you're going to read into that. The third one is the first Daily Stormer article. The third one is from a site called Onyx Truth, and it's an article called "Listen, Black People, You Did Not Descend from an Egyptian King or Queen." This is kind of, I feel like from first glance, this is kind of like a publication, sort of like a magazine type thing. Not saying what it says isn't true, but this is not an academic paper. The next one is another Daily Stormer article. Next one is from a site called rents.com, and it's a paper called, it's just a dry paper with nothing, called Created Equal: Race, Genes and Intelligence. It's not cited as being part of any journal, so I can't, without reading it, well, even if I did read it, I couldn't tell you about its value because I'm probably not smart enough. Usually what I do is I look at aggregate sites for the quality of journals as sort of an idea as to whether what I'm seeing is legit, but that's not offered to me. It's not listed as part of any journal. The next one is...
Where are you getting your sources, though? Because they're videos.
Yeah, it's from a re-upload, and they've re-uploaded the entire description.
Okay.
The next one is a dead link to a political forum article. The next one is from a site called White Lacoste, and that's a WordPress site. I think by the name we can say that that's probably White Lacoste. I mean, I haven't read into their site, so I don't really know. And the final one is a dead link to a Channel 4 article. So these are not, maybe in these articles they cite great things, but these sources, this is not the sources of an academic.
No, like it was almost all nothing but articles written by not anyone doing any of these studies, but someone writing about some study. And let's go ahead and be fair. If you're writing journalism about anything, it's not all that intelligently fucking thought out. Not today. Like, it doesn't happen.
A thought just occurred to me. So, because the whole race thing is taboo, should we put any resources into researching these claims that there are differences between the races?
Oh, no. If you fucking do that shit, they will fucking dogpile on you and pretty much try to destroy all your work. Even if it's credible. Even if it's fucking credible. There was one guy who just went just by genetical reasons. It was just the nonchalant, like, because of the different areas that black people from Africa, they actually have an extra tendon in their leg. It actually does cause them to jump higher and also give them a longer sprint burst. But that was racist because he's like, it's
you can just say they're better at sports. You can't say why.
Honestly, if there wasn't a taboo on it, we would have papers about this. I mean, I'm really interested to see it. Is there really a difference between all the races? Even if there's a small characteristics,
very, very small. Like in Africans, their fat covers the outside of their organs. However, with Europeans, white, and Asians, we actually have fat that covers the inside and out. Or is it Asians that are inside?
When it comes to the actual IQ-based stuff and intelligence-based stuff, which I think is what most of the disagreement is coming down to, it comes down to IQ. And IQ is contested as a solid thing. And there are margins of error when it comes to IQ. And a lot of people are skeptical of IQ as a way of determining general intelligence. It's the best that we have.
Dummies.
It's the best way we have of establishing general intelligence. I'm not here to say it's perfect. I think it's well within the realm of possibility that those small numbers between the difference between the IQ of black and white people could be a mistake, but I don't know.
Rage Against the Storm, she's no longer on Twitter, man. I looked up her handle.
Oh yeah, she ghosted. Well. She ghosted.
If anyone had a problem with any of those sources I brought up or think that anything was missing from that description, I have linked in the group chat that re-upload.
Yeah, I mean, check it out.
Just because I think it'd be interesting that to have a study like that doesn't make me a racist at all.
No, the Nazi scientists who built the technology behind the V2 were Nazis. The technology behind the V2 didn't hate Jews.
You know, I think it'd be interesting the small differences, if
Fair
any.
enough.
It's just the evolutionary differences.
Did you see the recent tweet from Kraut saying, "Well, I've
My
been looking."
girlfriend's having a problem with this. Just give me 1 second.
I'm not having a problem with this. I'm just wondering what's the point behind the study.
Well, to
That's what I was saying
to
a
see
minute.
the differences between the.
Yeah,
like,
but
Wouldn't matter in differences. I will understand like with diseases and all that other stuff, but with the difference between IQ and all the other stuff, why should that matter?
well, there's a lot of things that people
Well,
in
it actually can
science
explain.
do.
Well, it's like an evolution kind of thing.
when it comes to the bell curve, which is what most people are citing, they didn't go out in search of racial differences. What they did is they were looking for something else. I can't remember what it was they were looking at, but first of all, they used non-Hispanic whites as their control and then expanded it to others. And in the process of doing a completely unrelated study, they found these racial disparities. So
when you get information, you'll see some trends or
And then you want to find out why this is happening.
it wasn't people going out to find this information.
It's like
Yeah,
we're
but with
creating.
the information, you always want to go with the question of why. And we actually did discover it's because of they didn't have, like, I do believe they said it didn't have like the proper books, like they had out of date books. They had too many people in one classroom, causing kids to be not get the full attention that they need. It actually did assist the school systems in correcting certain issues such as that, and actually bringing up the IQ
The
slightly.
original intent
in,
of the study was to get a
areas.
general baseline for the IQ in America, like the general. It wasn't meant to be a thing about race. It wasn't meant to be a thing about gender or sex or age or anything. It was just supposed to be a general baseline of IQ, like where we stand at, and get that information. And then it was an incredibly large study, at least for something that hadn't been done like that at the time. It was a fairly large study for anything else that had been out there, and we found a whole lot more information than we were looking for in that.
And the information is good, and the method is good. There's many pieces of literature that have been released afterwards purporting to debunk it. I'm not going to say for certain whether they've succeeded in that effort, but I think believing what's in the bell curve is a legitimate position to take. I feel like believing that black people can't understand time, that's when you've gone too far.
That's dumb. That's dumb. Like, but if they want to say language-wise, if it was like worded the way that, like, oh, in this area where these certain people came from, they really didn't have a language for time. That would be like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder why that is.
Obviously,
but that's like as far as the
man, you
fucking
never
should
heard
go.
the island time.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that's as far as it should go. Is like, oh, that's interesting. It's like
All I know is I showed up late to this stream.
like with abstract thinking.
Yeah.
Like talk about art, for instance. They didn't have certain words that meant like.
Let's be real.
Abstract. Yeah, that
Black
would
people
be
have some
interesting.
fucking great art out there, man. I
Oh,
love
fuck
all
yeah,
that
they do.
tribal art. Anyway,
Stop virtue signaling, Jesus.
okay,
Y'all have
I'm
any
done
else
virtual.
traditional Southern style food?
I need to get more tea. I'll be back in just a second. I love you all.
You British bastard.
I'm sorry.
Get your tea.
But there's a recent tweet from Kraut that's saying, "Oh, I'm reading the bell curve, and a lot of this makes sense." And I'm just like, "What?" I mean, I don't. Kraut's just like severely disappointed me in this. It's like a bridge too far with him.
almost like the majority of the people that they tested for this were children, and although that's the easiest way to get people that are in school, and to
You're breaking up.
on.
You still there?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, well, like one of the biggest flaws in the methodology of the bell curve was they used kids for this, and although it's the best way to get a wide sample size and get everyone, but testing kids for IQ isn't exactly the best way to get the best results for
Right.
IQ tests.
I want to get this done so I can go to recess early. Yeah.
Well, not even that. It's because how you measure IQ tests, it can literally change from year to year with kids. As adults, it doesn't change as much.
Because once we're stupid, we're always stupid. Once we ride the short bus, we ride it forever. I'm sorry, my jokes are terrible. They're highly inappropriate, not PC. And I want a potato.
I like chocolate milk.
But
yeah, IQ, yeah, no, in your early forms of development, your IQ can fluctuate because your brain's still going through massive development. Whereas an adult, you know, you're gonna plateau more, and
the score is also based on your age. So I mean, like you could take the test one day when you're 7, and then you have a birthday the next day to take the same test again, get the exact same score, like or do the exact same number of questions right in the exact same amount of time. But because you're a year older, it's gonna put you down a whole hell of a lot lower than it would if you were 7.
I question the power of IQ tests at
Ting 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 ting.
Fucking
sorry.
British
Ting ting
bastard.
ting ting ting.
at being
Yeah, fuck.
at being a good way to test general intelligence.
We have to,
It's dodgy and it wavers sometimes. I think possibly it wavers enough to get those low percents of disparities between races. But I don't know. I'm not a smart boy.
if I recall, the brain supposedly doesn't stop developing until you reach around the age of 25. And so,
Fuck.
you'll,
I'm
well,
screwed. I'm 26. I never grew up. Damn it. When's the age of growing up again?
around the age of 25 is when a lot of your major when all your brain development stops. Usually your vocabulary is gonna not really expand in a natural way. It's not gonna progress naturally. You have to
Just
really.
say it, geek. Just say it. I'm fucked. Just say I'm fucked.
You got a nice rack though, so
Yeah. My rack is phenomenal.
you don't have to worry. You know, just hurry up and marry a rich guy early, and then you'll be good.
we all missed that part to marry a sugar daddy. And we all regret it.
I'm just trying to become the sugar daddy.
I'm not rich, but I sound rich.
It's because you're British.
You're fucking British, mate.
I don't have the posh accent, no. I have some weird,
Is that the posh accent?
pseudo chav.
Well, I think it's funny. Like whenever we talk about this, or at least in very recently, because of what happened with Rage After Storm and all this, we're only talking about what that the bell curve said about the difference between the races, but we're ignoring what it's been saying about the difference between the genders. And like what I found most interesting whenever, because I haven't read the entire book, but I have read a few chapters and then excerpts of different parts of the book when I was in college. But there's a huge difference between the IQs of men and women, but on average they're about the exact same. But men tend to either be fucking morons or geniuses.
Nobels, dumbbells, yeah.
Yeah, Nobels and dumbbells. And then women tend to be in the there's not a whole lot of geniuses, but there's also not a whole lot of fucking retards either.
Yeah, that's weird. I think I kind of see that in my daily life. Probably, I recognize that. I relate. There's a lot of stupid blokes out there.
And there's a whole lot of fucking brilliant ones too.
Yeah.
And there's not as many brilliant women, and there's not as many fucking retarded women. There's some crazy ones, but that's.
Oh shit! There's a fuck ton of crazy ones.
We can rate the crazy on hot ratio.
Do you
Hotter
think,
the
you
chick,
think the hotter the
the more you're gambling with crazy. The uglier the chick, the more sane you're getting.
The thing is, when you're an average looking
that
dude,
is false. That is false. I've dated some trolls that are like fucking Jeffrey Dahmer.
Listen, you just struck out. You struck out bad, okay?
the thing about being an average looking dude like myself, when a really hot girl decides she wants to take you for a ride,
average.
Mm-hmm.
you have to question. You have to question her motives here. You have to investigate what the quality of her relationship with her father is before you take any steps in that direction. I'm taking the piss. Don't worry about it.
Are you on the John right now?
No, I'm taking the piss, not a piss.
Oh.
He's just taking the piss, mate. Don't worry about it, you fucking knob.
Why did you just assume he sat down when he peed?
Look at this guy talking about people multitasking. He's playing Total War Warhammer while we're talking about this. Yes, I see you on Discord, Cracker.
I'm not on it. I swear to God.
It's totally minimized.
I'm playing League while we're talking. Is that the same?
I'm just sitting here surfing all over the web and trying to do something here. Because I think we've all come to the same conclusion. Way she used the statistics were fucking dumb. Way she was trying to, I think she just made a bad video, personally. Kraut shouldn't have done what he did, because that's douchey. Because I would never take anything that happens online to home. Unless someone's saying that like, we're going to do a jihad. You know, then we're going to be like, oh, listen. Help.
So let's recap the whole thing. So like Mocha was saying, the video, Rage's video needed better sources on a lot of things.
Better wording.
Kraut needed...
Because if I may though, I really think what she was trying to say, that they didn't just have it in their like verbiage. Like they didn't have words for certain things, causing them to have, maybe a knowledge of it, but not a full understanding of it.
Nah, you're giving her too much credit. She's a crypto dude. She's an old school crypto fascist, man.
You kind of like see, you do the bridge too far, right? Like you conflate too much.
You have to bridge a few gaps sometimes, okay? Like
yeah, but on what evidence?
You have to
other than her just like
the evidence that she's a user.
Man, I don't think she's a Nazi because she's German or anything. It's just
I think where I'm gonna say that she's probably a crypto. I'm not saying with 100% certainty that she's a crypto. She uses Nazi websites. She talks about YouTube as a Jewish conspiracy. She says awful things about black people, shielded in a cryptic manner. I think she's most likely, not with 100% certainty, a crypto fascist. And I've seen him before, and I'll see him again.
Right, you're saying now, not with 100% certainty, but like if I hadn't thrown up that stop sign, your previous statement is she's a crypto fascist. I mean,
of course not, because I thought it would be quite obvious that I can't read her mind. I said that even before today in this hangout, that I don't know her motives because I'm not a mind reader, but I can pick up on cues.
disagree with you on that. Until she says something like along the lines of, "Yeah, by the way, I'm a Nazi," or something that is super, super, yeah, like something like that in a non-ironic, haha, I'm joking kind of way. Then there's really no, I think the video she worded it really bad, and maybe that's why.
I think in the modern age,
think that Muslims shouldn't be banned. Like, oh, let's give them a chance. No, you sound like those people like, oh, let's give them a chance.
No, I'm not that kind of person.
Amida Suri, Amida Umba, Amida Idai, Amida Kara.
what? Okay, well that was a nice interlude. What I'm saying is that no one today who is a Nazi is admitting that they're a Nazi because of the connotation. You're only going to get Pole people who just mask their Nazism with stupid bullshit and pissing about, which is actually quite amusing and ineffectual, or you're going to get old school cryptos. And I think I don't think you're ever going to expect a Nazi in today's day and age to come out and say, Hitler, pretty cool guy, gas the Jews. No, they're going to be.
Just seems a bit of SJW to me.
They're going to be. They're going to be cryptic. I think. Look, I've seen enough of her to say that she's probably a crypto.
We can disagree on that. I don't.
Okay. Just back to my original statement. I think she just misworded it, and I think if she did have any intent behind it, that's fucking retarded. But I honestly, by watching the video, think it was all about the going with communications, because that's what, if you read the studies and look into the studies, that was actually a big part of it. That's the reason why there was so much lack of communications between each other, and that's the reason why words in Japanese cannot transfer over to English. However, it means something in Japan, but over here, it means nothing.
Because I watched the Warski stream before I actually saw her video, and like I'm watching the Warski stream, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is the most racist thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Clearly racist. Oh, Nazi talk." And then I go and I watch her video, and I went, huh, "What? Who cares?" Like they're all upset about this video.
What would someone have to say, short of them saying, "I am an actual Nazi, killed, gassed the Jews"?
Well, you see, niggers are stupid. That like there. I mean,
what would someone have to say, in all seriousness, for you to be convinced that they are a racist?
They would have to literally say something totally abhorrent and not,
Oh, what was that one girl? That one girl that Onision got kicked off of YouTube. The Nazi girl. What was her name?
Oh, Evalian.
Yeah, Evalian.
Guys.
Her. Even though I still don't think she should have been deplatformed.
Yeah, I said short of saying, actually, I love Hitler, which she did.
No. If you go back to her older videos, before she actually came out, like, I think it was like a couple.
Well, you see, the money-hungry Jews control all of Hollywood, and they indoctrinate us with the Avengers movie. See, look, that is complete Jewish power.
And they put the gayness in the lakes, and they're turning the fish gay.
They're turning the frogs gay.
But
America is great, except for all those dirty fucking shifty Jews. We need to just burn them all.
But I just didn't get a vibe from Rage of like, oh, she's a racist. I got a vibe of a girl that probably maybe picked some of her evidence with bias, but not like
the Daily Stormer is a little shy of bias, I think.
Well, yeah, but she's not the Daily Stormer, man. I mean,
I'm gonna have to agree with Geek Thulu there.
Can I clarify my point here?
I think she's a child that thought she had all the facts right, had all the information. She just didn't word it correctly. Some of the sources, she should have actually got better sources, because one of my buddies, Unknown Archive, actually made a video very similar where he actually put better sources. It pretty much did the exact same thing I've said today.
Can I clarify my point? Because I feel like I should to clarify what I'm saying here. I think she should be able to say whatever she wants, and I feel like some of the sources she cited were, although coming from kind of a secondary source, had some strong facts behind them. I don't think anything she said in the video was outright racist, and I don't think even if she did say something racist that we should try and get her in trouble with her employer or to try and censor her. I'm not an SJW, but what I can do is I can say with relative certainty from what she said and what she's done and how she's gone on to find her niche and in more alt-right circles recently after that video, that she is most likely a thing that exists and is recorded a crypto-fascist. Now, me making that label does not have any power. All I'm doing is observing her and comparing her to other stimulus I've seen in the past and other people have seen in the past of recorded crypto-fascists.
Well, you
That
do
doesn't. It's
some
not
power,
magic.
though. You do
I don't have
some.
any power.
Yes,
It's
you
not
do.
magic. It's
Yes,
not magic to call her a crypto-fascist.
You do have some power, just like I have some power, just like everybody in here has some power with their
What's
words.
my power?
Your power is that people can
Suggestion.
watch this and you know,
I
most
think
people.
it's the truth. I'm not lying here. I think she is a crypto-fascist, and I think that is the truth, and that
But
truth
based
should be
off
spread.
of what evidence? Because of one video that she said
Not one video.
or because she used a source. I mean, what if the Daily Stormer said it
It's
was
a big
raining
picture.
outside in London, and we were like, well, clearly it's fucking racist.
That's
and
not what they
wrong,
said.
even
That's
though
not
it is
what they
raining
said.
outside in London. But
That's not what they said, though. They said black people can't understand time.
Oh, because of color people time.
I have to I have to see the I actually have to look up the
How's
the
that
actual
backpedal
source.
feel?
How's that a backpedal? I have to read.
I mean,
the actual-
yeah,
That's not a backpedal.
Let me
at all.
interject. Saying like the Daily Stormer said that the blacks can't understand time. That statement is not so much, I guess, racist so much as acting on that statement would be more so racist.
Okay, that statement is racist because it's a false thing that they've bullshit and are spreading lies, negative lies about a race. They have acted upon it when they decided to publish it.
Yes, that would be, yes, if saying false statements like that would be racist, but he did not.
If they made it up and then never said it, if they said in their mind,
So the article you're
wouldn't it
talking
be
about,
goofy
alien
if-
mind, black people have no conception of European morality. Is that the one that you were looking at?
let me find the one. I read it once before. Oh wait, see, look how helpful I am. I put the sources link in the chat. It's going to take me a moment to find it. Yeah, I think it's that one, Alien Mind.
Well, I'm not going to argue whether the Daily Stormer is racist. Yeah, they probably are racist. But I think Rage After Storm believed what they were saying was true, and she was just stating that, like, she's not acting on it, not saying that.
The only thing.
Okay,
sorry,
here we go. Here we go. I've got the
quote.
quote here.
Law is an abstract concept, just like
Their
promise,
language does not
obligation.
include. Does not. Law. Yeah, law is an abstract concept, just like promise, obligation, morality, time, consequences, and remorse. Because of the thought of actually putting yourself in a position of another cannot be formulated by the African Negro. A semblance of the idea's result can be taught but only by way of doing something already specified in order to gain an immediate reward or to avoid an immediate punishment. What they're saying is that black people are stupid and the only way they function in society is by some sort of Pavlovian conditioning. That's full on actually racist. And saying that that's because of some ancient Zulu language is being crypto, because no black people were raised speaking the Zulu language. What they're saying is black people are stupid and they can't understand the law of the time or time.
Stan, is a Muppet a swear in the UK?
It's not a swear. No.
Because
But it's a rude word.
I mean, is that really an insult?
Yeah. Like, you
Really?
fucking Muppet. What are you
Come on,
doing,
check
you
that.
fucking Muppet?
Oh.
Much more offensive down here than it is up there.
Cunt.
Cunt's pretty cool here. Cunt isn't a big deal here.
Let's see where.
Anyway, why are we discussing this? We should be talking about the Zulu language, not the British one. So yeah, I think that article is hands down racist, and I think it's from a racist site, and I think people who read that site and take it to be a credible site are probably racists. I mean, if I walk into the racist club and say, hello, all my racist friends, tip their hat, let's have a racist beer, let's sit down and play the racist game, yeah, I can say with relative certainty that I'm a racist.
I just had the funniest image pop in my head when you said that. Be like, come in, oh, hey, racist pals, and they fucking start playing Jenga and whatnot.
I think that a lot of people are scared to make any logical leaps, even tiny ones. Although she has not outright said that she thinks, well, she pretty much has outright said that she thinks black people are stupid, but she hasn't put it in the rhetoric that we recognize. And you see that as her just making a little mistake. She meant to say black people are actually quite clever, but also they don't understand time, and abstract concepts cannot be formulated by the African Negro. It's just a little mistake. I'm saying she's being crypto and she's a racist. I think that's not too big of a leap.
I mean, I make a lot of racist jokes. Does that make me racist?
This is not a joke, Cracker. This is not a joke. This is real.
Hold on here.
Are you for real?
What you're saying?
I have to question. I have to question her. Are these sources? It sucks that she deleted her channel because we can't look at the actual sources, but original description in parentheses, I think. I mean,
it's the best I can do. All right.
Right, but that's
you're picking up on minor points. These sources
that's
were
minor?
used in the video.
That it could be wrong.
Okay, but
what?
These sources were featured in the video. I can see them in the video if I were to watch the video right through. Do you want to sit here and watch the video right through?
What's the timestamp on that Daily Stormer?
I gotta make.
It's a 9-minute video. I'll look for it.
1 second.
She definitely uses that article, that Alien Mind article. I remember it vividly.
I really wish she didn't delete her account.
Yeah, it's making it very difficult.
Yeah, because you can't really.
Because someone could just say, "Oh, these were her links," and they actually were. Because I strictly remember there being more links.
I will mute you guys and try and find the timestamp on that article, because I'll be able to do that because I remember vividly it being there. So I'm going to disappear for a second while I find that. Love you guys.
Bye, yo.
Because the thing is I don't know, man. Because what she's saying is not representative of what's in that article. I'm scrolling through, and I'm
not seeing anything. I just see a chick with black and white hair, a tweet, a black guy looking to the side.
It's almost like she's being intentionally a disingenuous cunt, like she's a racist asshole.
some guys in chains. I also say,
I'm back.
I love her problematic glasses though. I need to get me a pair. I feel left out. Everybody has them now. There's a black chick with pink hair. 70. Random 70 that pops up. Pepe's there.
Okay. I see muting people.
Why the fuck I get muted? What the fuck is happening here, guys?
Why are you muting people?
Sorry, guys, my bad. I didn't mean to mute you guys. I didn't know this program. I'm an idiot. Sorry. I'm back in. I'm
There. That's what you get. Mute me on my own stream. How dare you, sir? How?
I'll do that though. I mean, like, I won't do it just to be a dick. I'll do it just to be a dick because it's funny.
Like I remember in the video, the only part that I kind of cringed at was when she was talking about like the slaves bringing slaves over.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I kind of cringed about, but like I could see where she could say what she was saying, but I was like, eh.
I made jokes that whole time, and I was saying them to my black friends because I had Toxin and a couple of my other black buddies and watching it on Rabbit, and I was just like popping jokes the whole time. I'm like, look, listen. You still owe me some shoes, and what are you talking about? Listen, when I was chasing you down through Africa.
But yeah, I'm like scrolling through the video. I'm not seeing like the image from this article popping up or anything.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I looked over it 4 times. Gentlemen
and ladies, well, someone kick him?
No, I would never.
He left.
Yeah, he just left.
I think we pretty much reached the conclusion on this topic that both parties fucked up. Both parties handled the situation shitty. Yeah. And the SJW tactics that some people in the quote-unquote skeptic community is using is fucking dumb.
Yeah, you should not take internet life, to someone's house.
And
that's bullshit.
And then the other fucked up part about it is you see people like going to bat for Kraut for his bullshit. Like I see some black guy and Jeff Holiday like trying to back Kraut up and going, well, it wasn't her or it wasn't him that got her fired. It was her views. I'm like, go fuck yourself. Meanwhile, they get threatened to be doxxed or somebody, reaches across that fourth wall and tries to reach out and fuck with their fucking life. And suddenly they're just like, oh my God, Angry MGTOW wants to fuck up my life with my child. But it's okay. Kraut got that girl or attempted to get that girl released from her internship.
Which was shitty.
Okay. I want to back you up on that, but those two things are very, very fucking different. I think he's being disingenuous for
nah, not really. Nah, fuck that. No.
Oh, cool. Somebody was trying to take my fucking kids away. Oh, fuck you. That's fucking, you're a piece of shit.
I'm the one who's collected all the information and gave it to Jeff Holiday. I was gathering shit for him. It's just when somebody's reaching out to fuck with your personal life, that's what it is. I mean,
another tactic, Geek. Another tactic which you were a victim of. Remember the Hearts Progress shit that was going down like a couple months ago?
Reptile or reptards.
Yeah, and fucking Geek Cthulhu is like, okay, well, let's make sure this is legit, and because I have some suspicions. And a lot of people jumped on his case because they're like, oh, it's totally real, you guys. Nah. I'm like, well, we don't know. But let's get some answers. Hey, Stanley.
Yeah, and then I'm called a pedo supporter because I fucking saw a fucking video of fucking Liz's that the evidence she puts in her video is not going to be convincing for anybody that doesn't know anything about it. And I'm just
my
like,
main point,
it
my
looks
main
weak.
point is these kind of tactics that the left have used against the skeptic community. The skeptic, some parts of it are using it against other people. The dogpiling, the doxing. Which, if you dox someone, you're a piece of shit. Period.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm back. And when she refers to that is around 7
When
minutes,
she
50
refers to
seconds.
that.
When she refers to the article that I went when I dropped out, sorry. She refers to the article where it says that, tribal languages disallow African people from having abstract thought.
Right,
That's
but you
around-
said the image.
What? I never said that there was an image. And what does it matter? She refers to it and she linked it in the description. I never said that there was
Hold
an
on,
image.
I'm listening to it right now.
I mean, yeah.
It's in no uncertain terms.
So I think the main point, as a community, I think we all should.
Like I said, the first thing she went to is language.
Yeah,
I guess that's the reason why I keep coming to the thought that she's trying to talk about just failing miserably, mind
no,
you.
but if you read the article that she links,
That article
If
sounds
she read-
nothing like what she just even said.
she sourced the article in the description, and what the article said.
This is this is a YouTube.
Look, when the original video
re-upload
came out, when the
with
original video
sources.
came out, I read this article. This article is in it. This is silly. Everyone who watched the video read and did a response to it, read this exact article. It's in Kraut's video. It's in everyone's video who did it. You can't just say because her video got deleted and someone's was uncertain in their re-uploading of the description that this article wasn't in it. That's irrefutable. That's not up for debate as far as I'm concerned, because it was in the video.
Now,
I don't know, man.
It was in the video. That's a fact.
It was not in the video. There's no actual link.
She referred to it in the video, and she also sourced it in the description.
The
of the video.
timestamp you gave me does not refer to that article. And
what it says is about the African language thing and the not being able to understand abstract thought.
Right.
Which
Do you think
then
that's the only thing on the internet that has
into it.
that?
She linked it in the original video. She linked it in the original
I
video.
do remember seeing that article in the description when I watched that video.
She linked it as one of her sources in the original video. It's not like she brought it up on the screen.
But it's not.
But she made the point that was in the article and linked the article.
Is what Geek Cthulhu is saying. It's not physically in the video.
But what does that even mean? That's a total non-point.
Because I can't
she listed it in her as one of her sources.
Right, but nobody. Do you have a screenshot of it? Because that would be helpful. The problem.
Of what?
I don't.
Why is
Oh my God, dude,
why does it hold more weight to you that she screenshots?
I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain it,
Go
man.
on.
You just constantly fucking interrupt.
All right, man. Don't be a dick about it.
I'm not being a dick about it, but I'm trying to.
Come on, be civil.
I tried to be civil. I got all the things you asked me to get. I try to be nice about it. You can say what you. I'm sorry for interrupting you. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
Everybody, Geek, come on. Let's be friends. Let's just do this.
What I'm saying is that, well, number one, the first thing you said, well, I saw an image of it in the video, which wasn't in there. And number two, what she's saying, it doesn't come off as racist, is what she's saying. She's like an average, whatnot. And then the problem I have is that, yes, this is a re-upload, and it says that this is her sources, but we don't have a way to confirm it. And unfortunately, because she's deleted her account, and
I can personally confirm it for you. I can personally confirm.
Well, I can personally confirm it to the moon.
Look, do you want to see? Look up any response that was made to that video and they check the sources, the same source that I did when I first watched it, the same source that Cracker, I think he just said that he saw it as well. That
Yeah,
is an irrefutable thing. That article was sourced in the original description to the original video. It was in her video description.
I guess the only problem I'm having is that I will say that she very lightly mentions that article, like to a point of where it's almost a non-mention. And 10 seconds later, she's going directly to speech and the differences on speech.
But the article is about speech.
Like I said, that's why my brain continually goes back to. She's trying to say it's hard for communication.
The article is about speech and communication. It's about the English to Zulu. That's what it's about, and how that has affected the African mind and their.
Well, that's not racist then. That is technically not racist if it's just like we have problems communicating with them because they don't have certain languages and they only have 250 word language when we have a very high language, causing there to be communication errors.
She wasn't saying
what makes it racist. What makes it racist is that the article, what it says in the article, is untrue, that black people can't understand abstract concept. It says the article spread lies.
But like I said, I think she's talking about from the language.
Can we take a second and just pause?
I understand, but that's a lie.
And then everyone give out their definition of what racism means, because I think you're all working under different definitions of the word at this point.
Okay, shall I go first? I would describe racism as the prejudice against people of another race or your own race, prejudice based on a race, and then discrimination or the action of acting upon that prejudice. That's what I would call racism.
I describe racism as the belief in an inferiority or superiority. That's pretty much it.
I have a definition.
I describe racism as my dick.
I actually have to agree with Geek that.
I have a definition here.
That someone thinks they're either superior and the other race is inferior.
Even by your definition, she is saying that white people are superior to black people in certain ways.
If you want a dictionary definition, I have one from the Cambridge Dictionary.
Sure.
The belief that some races are better than others, or the unfair treatment of someone because of his or her race.
Okay, because if you brought up the dictionary definition, I will go forth in this debate and use that as my definition out of courtesy to the other people. And I would say that even by that definition, which I agree to use from now, she is saying that white people are superior to black people. In certain ways, she's saying that white people have hierarchies, which I've said before is actually a legitimate position to take, even if it's one I don't agree with. She's also saying that black people can't understand abstract concepts like law.
She's not saying black people. She's saying African blacks.
Okay.
She actually goes to a certain area where they do actually have a very low vocabulary, causing it unfortunately it causes them not to understand fully of what's happening.
You're trying to
with abstract words and abstract concepts within those certain languages, there is a language barrier causing them to. That is true. That is absolutely true.
That is not true.
They have a 200 and like what? 257, 247 fucking.
No, they're talking about a dictionary that just because of the language that they are incapable, just because of some ancient language that the African Negro is incapable of understanding.
You're kind of like bringing the article in saying she's saying things.
She sourced it. She endorsed that article by sourcing it.
No, but she said explicitly a certain tribe. I could go.
Zulu.
The Zulu tribe, and this certain tribe, they cannot fully communicate because our language goes a little bit. Our languages are different. Like I said, it's like with Japanese and the Americans. The Japanese have certain words that we physically cannot translate.
Hold on, let me find exactly what she said. Let me find. Okay, one second.
No, that's not her point. Her point is that they're able to have, I believe, a more abstract thought because they have words for said.
She says that a lot of African languages. I don't know what she says, but she's basically saying that due to these African languages, they
you're gonna go
certain groups of black people to not
the girlfriend because we're both listening to you.
To certain groups of black people. Referred to not by her but in the article as the African Negro. I don't know if that's a legitimate classification. She doesn't give a classification, but the implication is there that they are, by virtue of their language, a language that is not in regular use now, incapable of understanding abstract concepts. I would say that is a statement of saying that they are inferior in however small you see it, inferior in a way.
Well, it's a comparison.
Yes,
it's literally it's like if I take I take a section of a Romeo and Juliet from page 4, and then I compare it to something on page 28.
No, it's more like
what's happening.
It's more like you taking a page out of Romeo and Juliet and taking a page out of Spider-Man the musical and saying Romeo and Juliet.
Actually, you can't actually do that. It's compare and contrast. You're comparing sections of work.
I'm sorry, man. You're misrepresenting what she's saying. You're trying to say, well, I'm going to go ahead and quote her. And then you're like, basically, she's saying this.
Sorry, I didn't get the exact quote. I got the first half of it. I don't have enough RAM in my brain to memorize.
I'll read it off because I got the closed captions on. All right, let me get to it. All right. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Jesus, why doesn't it? All right, Gambia and Angola, both of these countries are on the west coast of Africa, and neither of these countries are anywhere near to Egypt. Mitochondrial DNA proof that this not to mention a lot of African languages prove that black people lack abstract thinking. As I would like to mention, not all black people lack it. As I said, this is just an average English to Zulu language dictionary that has only 250 pages. And like the other African Negro languages, it does not include a working definition of any abstract concept because technically it's not possible for them to think that way. All those communities have been thinking that way, man.
Yeah, that's pretty racist, isn't it?
No, it's not.
I think that's
shit.
You don't think that's racist? Saying that?
No. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Can I interject real quick? From what you're saying, Geek, their language, the African language didn't allow them to have these abstract thoughts, correct? Because there weren't words for those thoughts, right?
Right. They have a certain set of words that are available in this dictionary that they use, and certain types of abstract thinking may not come from that language. It's not, and she's not saying that black people are inherently unable to think in an abstract way. It's just saying that based amongst the confines of that language itself compared to English, that they're not able to think as abstractly as someone who knows the English language.
I think proof that black people, and she also uses the term African Negroes, do not understand these abstract concepts. Now, I think it's important.
No, she said not all black people. Oh my God.
Of course, she said not all black people. She's a crypto.
I can't take this guy.
I'm sorry. I think you're coming from a place of an already conclusion. Like, I'm thinking of this open-minded. Do I think certain things in the video could be construed as racist? Yeah, I will actually offer you that. But the thing is, I think you're found a basis, and you're refusing to see. You're not. I don't want to say you're not thinking critically. I just think you're seeing from one central basis, and refusing to take anything that we're saying.
I'm hearing you. I'm listening to you. I'm trying to be civil and hear you. I think you miss an important point about this thing about the language thing, is that it's not true. It's a lie propagated by a Nazi website, and she's presenting it as fact. And she's also making characterizations about black people, not all black people. The African Negro
even
is
in
the
the statement
classification
that
she
you gave
uses.
to us.
And I think that's a racist statement to make, because it's a statement that white people are superior to these.
No. It's
Oh,
compared
no,
to
it's
our
not.
language.
Oh my
It was
God, no,
compared
it's
to
not.
terms of our language. He just literally read word for word. I was listening as it was going.
No,
It
she
was a
said
word
black
for word
people.
statement from where you gave us on
Said black
timestamp.
people.
Oh my God, you were
she
cherry
said Zulu.
picking, man. I'm
No,
sorry.
she said the
You-
African
you're-
Negro. She said proof that black people do not understand abstract concept. She said the African Negro. She said black people. She did use it in the context of
in
language.
relation
she
in.
she said it in the context of
let's
language,
forget that.
but she said black people, and she was saying that these black people do not understand abstract concepts. Abstract concepts that she goes on to imply that white people do understand. Of course,
No, we have words for it.
we know because we are smart people.
No. It's that we have words for it.
That black people actually do understand abstract concepts. We know that to be true. If you think they're not, then you're actually wrong.
No. It's that they don't have enough speech. They don't have words to put it into. They can't say it because they don't have anything within their language that we know of, because they only have 250 words in their dictionary that they cannot
250
fully express.
pages.
Well, whatever. That they cannot fully express it.
Does that prove that black people, as she said, as I think that's a direct quote, proof that black people do not understand?
She said the Zulus. And
let me get the closed caption.
Here, I will rewatch it again.
African languages. Here, I've got the closed caption here. Some African languages prove that black people lack abstract thinking. That's a direct quote.
Repeat that one more time.
Some African languages prove that black people lack abstract thinking.
Go ahead and repeat that one more time. And pay attention to that first word.
Some African languages prove that black people lack abstract thinking.
Right.
Black people.
It's
no, she wasn't referring to the languages there. She was saying that the languages are proof, are evidence of a different fact, that black people lack abstract thinking. That's not a fact, by the way. That's untrue. That's a lie propagated by a racist Nazi website.
Here, I think I can sum up what was trying to be said in that entire thing with one song from 1984. There you go. Lack of Communication by Rat. 1984.
I think you're giving her far too much credit.
I think you're not giving. I think you're giving no credit.
Yeah.
At all, whatsoever.
I gave her enough credit to watch her video and read many of her sources. I didn't read all of them.
And then just without a doubt in your head, call her crypto fascist and.
Yeah. No, not without a doubt. I made it clear that I do have a doubt in my head, but I think she's most
not by the way you're presenting it to me.
I said that many times that I don't know with certainty, and I said that I'm not a mind reader, so I can't.
I don't know. I'm the type of person that I'm not going to say something or about somebody unless I feel 100% certain.
It's the same way that I, as
I'm the same way, bro. I think that's maybe where my problem's coming from.
Let's put it in different context. I'm an agnostic atheist, and when I say I don't believe in God, yeah, that does not mean that there's no shadow of a doubt that there could be a God. I believe that there is one. I believe that possibly in a small realms of probability that there could be a God. I think that kind of doesn't need to be said. I think it doesn't need to be said when I say she's a crypto fascist. Of course, there's a possibility that she's not. That doesn't. need to be said, I don't think. And you said it does need to be said, and I said it. So I'm sorry for making that assumption that it didn't need to be said. Afterwards, right away, I did say it.
Anyone else?
Well, I think, if I may say, I don't think she's necessarily a fascist or anything like what you're saying, but is she racist? Yeah, probably she might be a bit racist, but I don't think she's a fascist or anything like that.
I think she probably is, but that's where we differ. I respect your opinion, man. I respect everyone's opinion. I don't want to have beef with anyone. It's been really fun. I'm sorry it got heated. I didn't mean to misrepresent you if you felt that I did that. And I didn't mean to misrepresent Rage or make any assumptions about her. But I came to my conclusion.
Misrepresent me misrepresenting you.
And I did my best with the evidence I had, and I came to my conclusions, which is the best that any of us can do. And I don't think anyone here is an SJW, and I don't think anything said here is particularly heinous. I personally believe what Rage has said is heinous, but that's neither here nor there.
That was a really good virtue signal, man.
I know. I love you guys. Have my virtue. Has anyone ever told you, Satan, that when you're in the circle, when you're in the hangouts, when it compresses you to a circle, your devil horns go tiny. They look like cute little cat ears.
Do they? All right.
Yeah, it's adorable.
Well, they're only little stubby nubs anyway.
Are you feeling inadequate about your horns?
No,
look at mine. Mine are
tiny, but the third horn is huge, so I'm okay with it.
My horns are some fucking thick ass legs, dude. I got some thick ass legs as my horns, boy.
All right, I'm back. I had a conversation with my boss about my pay, but anyway,
it kind of petered out, dude.
Yeah, I had a conversation with my boss about my paycheck today. But anyway, I think we talked to this topic to death. Everybody, everyone's.
I saw.
We killed it. Now it's just time to go ahead and kill Rage, Kraut, and all the black people.
Amen. Amen.
And then just end it.
All right. Thanks everyone for coming on. Go ahead and say your channel. Geek, we'll start with you. Some shameless plugins.
I don't even give a fuck. I don't ever plug my shit. People see it or they won't. I don't.
All right, I'm
fucking shameless plug myself. I don't give a fuck. Hi, I'm Mocha Rosary. I'm the host of the Mistaken Lunatics. Join us every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. We're fucking awesome, and also we review the most craziest, most fucked up videos possible, which we can actually show on YouTube. Literally, I have to research sometimes to make sure I can actually show them.
I'm Stanley, and you can find me at your mama's house. I don't have a channel. I just come here. I'm Cracker's friend.
Yep. I'm the Critical Cracker. I'm the most saltiest motherfucker in this bitch. So if you like my shit, subscribe. If you don't, I'll suck your dick. Anyway,
I'm doing a stream in about an hour. It's gonna be shit. Come check it out.
Yeah, go check out Satan. He's funny.
Oakley dokley.
All right, guys. Have a great one. Thanks for coming on.